Welcome to EDFD460 week 4. The purpose of this video is to give you a short introduction to week 4, where we're investigating what it is to be an imaginative and a creative teacher, and to quickly just step you through how this week runs. So it's very much the same as a normal EDFD460 week, but I do just want to alert you to some of the resources that are in the week. So when you click into week 4, as you can see, it has the normal format. So you've got your introduction, you've got your readings, you've got resources, discussion forums, and the virtual workshop. Now, in this particular, when you have a look at the green bubbles, when you have a look at number 4 and number 5, number 4 says our focus this week is to start thinking how we might map or document our imagination and creativity in the context of our non-teaching practice and our teaching practice. So the number 1 focus is looking at what it is to be an imaginative and a creative adult person beyond the realms of a school, and what it is to be an imaginative and a creative teacher. And I'm using the words practice and behavior interchangeably throughout this week. So, what it is to have an imaginative and creative practice, and perhaps what it is to have imaginative and creative behaviors beyond the school. So the important thing here is that we're looking at what we do in our own lives when we're imaginative and when we're creative, and then we're looking at what we do in our teaching practice. This is not solely concerned with our teaching practice. So as we've discovered in weeks 3 and week 4, it's really important to be able to acknowledge our own imagination and creativity. And so that's what we're going to be looking at first and foremost. When you have a look at number 5 in the green bubbles, you will see that we're learning how to use technology, specifically Google Drive, to enhance our collaborative practices. And we also learn how to start using the functionality of Leo to our advantage. So I'm just going to step you through some of this now. We have 4 core texts, and they are beginning to draw our attention to the pedagogical practice that we have that might be imaginative and creative, and some of the strategies and processes that we can adopt to enhance the imaginative and creative qualities of what we do as teachers. Within that is also you thinking about your own personal imagination and creativity. Connected to these readings are 2 forums to which are connected a series of activities. And these activities are really informed by many of the resources that we have here, as per normal. Forum 4A is called Imaginative and Creative Practice, Reflections on the Nexus of the Personal and the Pedagogical. So nexus means a relationship, it's a connection. So here what we're looking for is your reflections on what the connection between a personal and a pedagogical, imaginative and creative practice is, and how that links into, how enhances or links or deepens what we do as teachers. And so it's important that you understand that that is the purpose of Forum A before you start reading the texts. Okay, so when you're reading these texts, part of it is to be reflective and think about your own imaginative and creative practices beyond the classroom, but then also how the text resonate with how you think about a pedagogical, imaginative and creative practice. And then you craft a short 250 word reflection on that nexus, on that connection between the personal and the pedagogical, all the while writing your notes and your thoughts down on your mind map, and in particular noting down the processes that you may adopt in a school to teach creatively and teach for creativity. So they focus very much on core text 4A, 4B and 4C. Note down the language that's being used. What are the ways of approaching imaginative and creative practices? Forum 4B centers around the MICT, which is mapping the imaginative and creative teacher. So what we're wanting to do in this task is actually devise a way of mapping or documenting when and where we are imaginative and creative in our own personal life beyond the classroom and in our teaching practice. So it's almost like a questionnaire, and the word that I use is protocol. Okay, so it's how do we design an MICT protocol? And in this sense, a protocol means a document or a questionnaire or a process or a series of questions or whatever it may be that allows us to take note and document our imaginative and creative processes. And what we're doing with this is we are developing our MICT, and then we're sharing it as a forum post. Well, we're sharing it in a forum post as a hyperlinked URL that opens in a new window. And that means the following. When I put a link onto Leo, such as Resource4C, when I click on that, you'll notice that it opens up in a new window. So up at the top of the internet browser, I can still click on Leo and engage with Leo, and I can also engage with the link that opened, in this case, Google Drive. And so what you're going to be doing is developing your MICT either in Word on your computer or as a Google Doc. And then what you do is you learn how to add that to Google Drive. So Resource4D shows you how to add a Word document to Google Drive. And it also shows you how to create a document in Google Drive, depending which one you want to go. So you can either create your document, your MICT protocol outside of Google Drive, or you can create it within Google Drive. You then learn how to create a shareable link from that document, so a hyperlink, a URL, and you do that by watching Resource4E, and then you learn how to add that URL to a forum post and edit it so that it opens in a new window, so that when somebody accesses your MICT, so if you pretend that this Resource4D link is actually a forum post, they would click on that in your forum post and it would open up a new document. So what you're doing is you're creating your MICT, or you're housing your MICT on Google Drive through one of two ways. You're then creating a link from your document, and then you're sharing that link with your peers in Forum 4B. And then what we'll begin to do is develop some conversation and discussion around those processes that you developed in your MICT, and we'll get some feedback on them as the weeks progress. So just to confirm, this is about this week 4 is, it looks busy, but once you've watched the resources, you'll notice they're very short. I'd encourage you to really watch them at the start of the week so you can begin to sort of percolate and think about them. If you leave them right to the last minute, they might get a little bit overwhelming. But if you watch them on Monday and then start to think about how you might approach them, by the time you get to the end of the week, and once you've given yourself a few practice goes, remembering that you can't break anything, you'll see that what we're doing is we're learning about the personal and the pedagogical in terms of imaginative and creative practices and behaviors, and why the connection between those is important. And then we're learning how to use technology, in this case Google Drive, to share our thinking. And then as the semester develops, we'll begin to actually collaborate and comment on the documents we're sharing. So I hope you enjoy week 4. It is quite a big week, but it's an important week, and we do learn a lot from it. Of course, when you're completing your forum posts, remember that APA referencing is a must, and we now have really refined and fantastic skills at APA referencing.